Greetings, life forms, wherever you're receiving us. This is Justin.
And Matt.
And I am looking for one single ticket to Game 3 between the Nashville Predators and the Pittsburgh Penguins of the Stanley Cup Finals. My name is Landon Doan.
Ooh, that's going to be a hot ticket.
Got one.
Welcome to Smashville, baby.
Yeah. I'm firmly on the bandwagon now. But if they crap out in 4 games, I'm right back off.
His Amazon purchase is on hold right now.
Oh yeah, if they win, I'll buy myself a T-shirt or something.
I was about to say it's in the car.
On board.
Don't act like you're not in the car.
I'm already going to get Western Conference champion gear. Shout out to the Preds. But if they actually win the Stanley Cup, I'm going to get a jersey. I'm going to get a hat. I'm going to get a T-shirt. I'm going to get a flag for my new house. Like everything. I might even get a flag for my car. Go Preds.
Boom.
Yeah.
It is May 28th. It is the day before Memorial Day, and it is episode number 47 of Nerd News Cafe. We are about to turn a ripe old 50. I can't wait.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, soon we'll be AARP eligible.
Ooh, senior discounts.
Senior discounts all around.
I was going to say it did feel like my joints were a little stiff getting up this morning, so it happens when you age.
You know, one of the things that I have always said multiple times on the show, is that I want this to be an interactive experience for our listeners. And this week, we've got a couple of things to bring to the table because it's been a pretty interactive week for us.
It has.
Indeed, yes. I love it.
Yeah, so first of all, I want to talk a little bit about the Facebook fan page. So put a question out there, ask what people were watching, playing, reading, what was going on with you. We got a lot of responses back. So I want to get into that.
Yeah, I think it's super awesome that we're getting some play on the Facebook. Obviously, if you're not following us, search Nerd News Cafe on Facebook. You should be following us on Twitter, twitter.com/nerd_news_cafe. We're going to start throwing out, at least on the Facebook, a weekly what are you playing, what are you reading, what are you watching, because we want to know what you're getting into so we can talk about what you're into.
Yep. So let's get right into it. Our first response came from Gregory Kate, who told us he was playing League. And
No. That's my boy Jared from Choir. What's up, Jared?
Okay, well, then he needs to adjust his Facebook name. Gregory Jared Kate playing League and Legend of Zelda Ocarina Remake on 3DS. So
hashtag Nerdnews Cafe. Appreciate the hashtag. That is a great remake on the 3DS. I have it myself. Put a lot of hours into it.
Yeah, Ocarina is one of those that fan favorite of the Legend of Zelda series, so very cool. Kurt Harper, Game of Thrones Season 6 is in the bag. 10 episodes is a perfect amount. And I want to respond by saying, I just finished Season 6 of Game of Thrones. I had this is kind of really crazy, actually, because I had gotten up to the last 2 episodes of Season 6, and then for me, I put it on hold because all of a sudden, Samantha was like, I don't think I want to watch this show anymore. She just threw in the towel.
She straight pulled the cord
on you. Who says that?
Yeah, it's always been a little bit on the intense side for her.
She's a stronger person than I. I have to finish stuff.
And I know, here we are, we're 2 episodes away from the end of the season, and she's like,
do that.
She just throws her hands up. She's like, done? Well, and because of that, it's not like I can watch it with the kids. Nope. And so it kind of put it on hold.
You shouldn't watch it with your kids.
I shouldn't, yeah. So it put it on hold for me. But what I ended up doing, I took advantage of the fact that I was down for surgery recovery and everybody was out of the house, and I did finish it up. And let me just say, the last 2 episodes of Season 6 are 2 of the most satisfying episodes of any series I've ever watched ever. So it was very gratifying to get to see a lot of that stuff going on. And there was some crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff.
I have seen 1 episode of Season 1.
It's so incredible to me that you haven't gotten into this show.
He hasn't seen Game of Thrones?
Here's the deal.
Have we talked about this before?
I think a little.
Maybe. Yeah. Let me give you the short summation. I wanted to watch Game of Thrones, but everybody kept talking about it was going to end soon. It was going to end soon because, the books are running out. And I'm like, okay, I'll just wait till it's over, and then I'll watch it in its entirety.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, I'm going to write another one before I have another triple bypass. So he's got to write this last one, which means they've got to make more, but I guess they're done in Season 8. 8 is it for them.
One, yeah.
Okay, so now I know there's a finale to this.
There is. It's coming up.
Are you kidding me? You're going to wait 2 years.
It gets better. The cheese gets stinkier. So I tell my wife, I want to watch this show. My buddy hands me 5 seasons on a drive. Here you go, man.
Yeah.
He goes, I've got it all for you. You just got to watch it. And I was like, okay. I put it in there. My wife's like, yeah, I'll watch it with you. I watched the first episode. She falls asleep 3/4 of the way into it. And I said, you just missed some serious stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, I'll watch it later. That was 6 months ago. We
The
have
wives.
yet to watch another
God.
episode because every time I say, you know what, I'm done with you, I unhitch my trailer.
Yep.
You can watch it when you want to.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait. Come on, I want to watch it with you.
Man, y'all are really putting over marriage right now. As the only single guy on this podcast.
You know what's funny is
You're not that single.
Tell me about it.
Here's what I
I
found.
went carpet shopping in Nashville this weekend.
Oh,
Do
my
you
God.
realize what that was like? I took an Uber to a freaking carpet store. What is going on?
Well,
with my
then
life?
you are only single in name alone. That's
Exactly.
it.
only legally financial
Yeah.
reasons are you single.
Tax purposes.
You know when he said that, I thought
Yeah.
of what was it from? What's the Will Ferrell movie? He's going streaking. Anyway, he's
Old School.
Old School. He's like, we're going to have a
we are
great
really-
Saturday. We're going to go to the Home Depot. We're gonna
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, there was a. Not gonna lie, I was standing outside and I had to ask myself, "What the is happening in my life?"
Oh, you're a happy, settled down
Sorry,
man.
edit.
That's what's happened. But yeah. So anyway, here's what I'll tell you. In my opinion about Game of Thrones, season 1 is kind of like a weed out class. If you can make it through season 1, you're going to be
minors.
It is. If you can make
This
it
is
through
English
season
101.
1,
Yeah.
if you can make it through season 1, you're going to be fine. But a lot of people throw in the towel in season 1 because either they can't take the intensity, they think it's too graphic, or it pisses them off that everyone you love in that show dies, and it doesn't stop happening. That will continue to happen.
I'm
Yeah,
okay
I was
with
going to
that.
say, I guess that's a spoiler alert, but if
No,
you
it's
have
not a
the internet,
spoiler.
you're very well aware that if you're on Game of Thrones, you die.
The tagline of that show is "Everybody dies."
there is because there's an apocalypse. Spoiler alert, season 8. No. The funny thing is, have you ever seen the meme where it says all the deaths in in the book, and it has like 1,000 tabs in the book? And I'm like, holy crap.
It's got all the little sticky
and
notes.
they're all colored, so
Yeah.
it's like, oh my god.
Significant deaths. There's a lot of them. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about it. But Matt, it really does. The restraint you've shown has been
You have
very
to remember,
impressive.
I read Wheel of Time, which is, I think, a direct competitor to all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, and it's got twice as many characters, and I can't tell you there isn't a book that at least 3 or 4 people die. So it's not a horror story to me. I'm like, oh, that's life in the fantasy realm,
Yeah.
You get dysentery or you get a sword. I mean, one of the way you're going down.
Or burned by a dragon.
Burned by a dragon,
That's
Yeah.
the way to go. Let's just
poisoned
so.
by some sperm
Poisoning
leper.
happens? Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. Stephen Brown told us that he was in search for part 2 of the Button series, so between the Batman and the Flash.
Which looks a really cool series.
Hopefully he was able to pick
Yeah,
that up.
I actually read that part 1, 2, and 3 this week. Haven't checked out 4. I really like it. I really feel like my comic loyalty buying wise might swing more DC than Marvel.
You think
in the
so?
next few weeks?
That's interesting. I'm going to have more to say about that on Stir It Up when we get to Comic Book Corner. But for now,
That's
that is
Thursday.
that is an
Yes.
interesting
Yes.
Stay
comment
tuned.
for you. And then we had Val Amick saying Palians. What is Palians?
I don't know.
Palladians, Alien Covenant, and Taco Bell menu.
Yeah, hey, I can appreciate that being on a budget.
And he said that if you're a fan of Prometheus, then you will love Alien Covenant.
I think I'll like Alien Covenant. I mean, I know you weren't a big fan, Landon, and I can understand that.
And like I said, I guess echoing Val's comment, I said last week I wasn't a giant fan of Prometheus, and in my opinion, it should have been Prometheus: Covenant. So, yeah. I want to talk about the Memorial Day box office. Apparently, people ain't going to see movies, and Alien in particular took a massive tumble.
Yeah. Okay. We'll get to that.
All right.
So coming up, because we will talk some movies here coming up, but I want to stay in the mailbag here for a minute because the other thing we did was we put a poll out on Twitter. If you weren't already aware, there were a couple huge theme park openings this week.
I know they're huge.
They're huge. I'm telling you. So
Wrong.
the bigliest stories.
Yep, bigly.
Really huge.
6 years in the making, we finally got the Avatar Pandora Land of Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom. It opened for previews this week and then opened in earnest this weekend. Competing directly with that was Universal's, as they call it, first ever water theme park, Volcano Bay, which opened this weekend as well for Memorial Day weekend. The big headline there, no waits, no queues, all virtual queues. And when we started talking about this several months ago, I was really interested to see how they were going to execute this. And did it really mean there were no lines? Because even when you go to Disney World, there's fast passes. Even with fast pass, you're still waiting 10, 15 minutes. And fast pass, they do the My Disney experience. They've got the magic bands now. And if you've got fast passes, it's a limited thing. You can only, set up 3 in advance, all that kind of thing. It's not the same kind of experience. It's a little different. A lot about reservations. Volcano Bay is not about reservations. So I want to talk a little bit about this, and then I'm going to talk about the poll that we put out there and the responses that we got. So first, let me talk about Volcano Bay. I've seen videos, watched some previews. The big thing is they've got like 2 lazy rivers. They've got a massive wave pool, lots of different slides. But like I said, the big headline is the no waits, no queues for the attractions. Basically what you do, you get a band. It looks like a magic band. Imagine that. Called a tapu tapu that you use not only to make your reservation.
Wait. It's called a what?
Tapu tapu. So the place is Hawaiian themed.
I love how you just keep moving on past that. Tapu tapu.
Yeah, it's Hawaiian themed. So of course things are going to sound like this. So anyway, what you do is they've got kiosk in the park. You go up, you tap your wristband, tell it what you want to ride, and then you get to go do whatever you want, and then it'll buzz you as if you're waiting for a table at an Olive Garden and tell you your table is ready, and you go do the thing. So it actually comes up. Each one of the bands has a screen on it, so it tells you this ride, go now, whatever. So I think you do one at a time. That's the way I understand it. You do one reservation at a time. But that gives you all the time in the world to go sit at the bar, sit at the wave pool, lay in the lazy river, and then your thing goes off. You get to go do your ride. Not only do they have like your traditional just water slides you'd expect to see, they've got a water coaster that they've introduced that actually uses magnet technology to like send you up hills and stuff. I watched the video. It looks really cool.
Can I ask a dumb question?
Do it.
What is a water coaster? I mean, obviously it seems like roller coaster in water, but
that's exactly what it is. So you sit in a raft, and it's like, I think they might be 2 people rafts. I think they're 1-person rafts, but what you do is, as opposed to with a traditional water slide, it's downhill or nothing, right? You're going downhill, maybe going around tubes, going in circles like down a toilet, and then you're into the splashdown pool.
Gravity fed.
Yeah, it's all gravity. Water coasters can use water jets to shoot you uphill, and that's what we've seen before. Actually, I believe Dollywood Splash Country has a water coaster that uses water jets that shoot you uphill, so you can go back down. And so it's a longer experience. There's more variation. It's a lot more. You get airtime, which you don't get on water slides typically. Yeah, so because they can send you up and over hills, that's kind of like a traditional, like a wooden coaster thing. They're big on airtime, so you get the little wee bumps. Yeah,
that seems awesome.
Yeah, so that's what you do when you hit them.
Yeah, you wee. So it's literally,
and it's a water ride, so nobody can know.
Exactly, zero grab.
I mean, I said that out loud. Whoops.
Except for the purple pool that's in the raft with you.
Yeah. So anyway, So they've got that going for them. And then they have, if you ever heard of like the capsule drop water slides, where you go stand in one of the capsules and the floor drops out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've got 3 of those. Yeah. Shoot. But then they have the other ones where you can sit with like your friends and go down like one of the funnel slides and different things like that. Of course, the centerpiece to the park is a big volcano that erupts throughout the day. During the day, it's water gushing out of it. At night, they light it up and it looks like lava is actually shooting out of the volcano, which is pretty freaking cool. I've watched the video on that too.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. So totally cool. A lot of stuff going on. It sounds like, and I even tweeted, as a Disney fan, it really sounds like Universal is raising the bar here. And what I hope, because Disney's kind of toying with the virtual queuing thing with some of their restaurants and different things. My hope is that when we get Star Wars Land, we will have virtual queues, no lines for things. Because if you don't, it's going to be a nightmare. Which leads me to the world of Avatar that opened this weekend. As we know, we talked about Avatar in the past. This is a movie that, yeah, it has, yes, okay, I admit to you, it has a story as a plot. Does anyone remember really what it was about or any of the main characters' names or anything like that?
Yeah, it was Dancing with Smurfs, as South Park so adequately proved out.
Yeah.
Okay, name it.
Main character?
Yep.
John.
Okay. Anyway,
are you sure?
Point proven. So
I mean, I know the plot.
We all know this movie. The whole point of this movie was visual effects. I mean, and I'll tell you this: I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it at home, and I fell asleep. It was a boring.
I saw it in the theater.
Wait! You didn't see Avatar in theater?
I did not, and that.
Okay, then I kind of feel like you missed the whole point of it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not a movie that you want to take home and rewatch.
God, no.
Yeah, have you ever watched it?
Yeah, several times.
Several times, and
Yeah.
you can't tell me the main
Several
character's name.
Yeah, it's like I don't care what his name
Because
is.
it doesn't matter, because the movie's about visuals.
Well,
That's
they
my
changed his
point.
name.
Anyway.
Well, you put full on rock there. That was nice.
It doesn't matter what his name. It doesn't.
I can tell you the whole plot from beginning to end.
Okay, but it's not. It was it like a totally original story that we'd never seen before.
Yeah.
No.
What's Ludacris' name? Fast and Furious.
Bingo. I've told you I haven't seen the Fast and Furious movies, so
Okay.
that doesn't work.
Does Ludacris in the Fast?
I don't know,
and the
I'm trying to
Furious
think
have
of
to do
obscure
with it?
characters.
And by the way, those movies are about action.
Yeah, so I mean, it's same visual effects.
No, not same. This movie was built on 3D cutting edge
Sure.
visual, a very like moving visual experience. My point about this is, it sounds like that's pretty much what you're getting with the park.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's all it's going to be.
There's not story, but there are visuals. So you get to be in this immersive landscape, and you get to experience, I feel like I'm walking through Pandora. But the problem is, Disney is a story-driven company. They're very big on theming. In fact, even rides that they build that aren't based on an intellectual property they have. For example, the Expedition Everest. Mm-hmm. They start telling you a story as soon as you get in line for that ride.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh.
And
What?
Cliffhanger.
he asked if it was about Cliffhanger. There's
Good
no
God,
Stallone.
this guy.
No Stallone.
Hey, I'm going to the mountain.
No.
Do you race him on the mountain?
No. You're not doing your Sylvester Stallone impression again.
Come on.
No.
I'm just saying. I'm in Guardians.
Dad, help me out here.
So anyway, it's all story driven, right? So this is where, and this is probably why when I thought about the marriage of James Cameron's Avatar and Disney World, that it never jived in my mind, because I wondered, what exactly are they going to be telling us? What kind of story are they going to be taking advantage of to put into these rides? What are we going to connect to? What are they going to be showing us? Because really, when you get down to it, humans in the movie Avatar are not nice to the Na'vi. It's kind of
it's a political satire.
It's an oppression.
Or not satire,
it's a movie about oppression.
Yeah, humans are kind of dicks in Avatar.
It's basically the colonization of the Americas.
Yeah. And that's essentially exactly
that's what it is.
So that's not
we
exactly...
all saw Dances with Smurfs. We know what's up.
So that's not exactly a story you want to tell in a theme park, per se.
I think you're alone in not seeing this at all.
What?
I mean, 7.8 in IMDb. It's 83% on Rotten Tomatoes and 83% metric. I mean, everybody's obviously seen this movie and they love it.
I said I saw it. I said it
I mean,
put
I'm
me
just
to
saying,
sleep.
I know.
Love it.
But I'm just saying,
And
it has the numbers.
Hold on. Okay, I think that deserves a poll. We'll probably put a poll out there and see if all these years later, do people love Avatar? Because
That's a fair question, especially now that freaking Disney has invested in Avatar. By the way, a property they don't own.
Right. Highest. He's looking at the wiki right now. It is the highest grossing film because people wanted to go to the theater.
And I think that's what
see
they
it.
bought into. I mean,
And also,
this
it's
is an
the
old
highest
contract.
grossing movie of all time. But you have to remember, to see it in IMAX 3D or just 3D period, what does that cost you? Like $17 to $23
It's
a
like
pop?
it's like twice a ticket. Two tickets.
Exactly.
It's like a ticket and a half.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was one of the first ones they rolled out like that. Now everything's in it. We're saturated with it now. But then it was like a 3D movie.
Oh, absolutely. At the time, it was a game changer. I mean, Avatar brought back the 3D experience because if you remember, 3D died off in the 90s and then it came back because of Avatar.
Avatar was specifically made to be a 3D movie experience. Yep. And I'm not trying to take that away from it. And from that aspect, it did a great job.
Maybe that's what they bought into.
That's what I'm saying. And it's obviously what they bought into because that's the experience that people are saying that they're getting from the world of Avatar. Let me talk about the two rides really quick. So they've got the Na'vi River Journey, which is really just a ride through a bioluminescent forest. They've got animals kind of bouncing around. The big headliner is right at the end of it. There's probably, they say, one of the most advanced audio animatronics they've ever had, which is this shaman, by the way, that was not in the Avatar movie, that does not exist in the Avatar canon. Shaman. No, I can tell you this for sure because I've done the research. Yeah. They say they might be introducing her in future movies, and that's where you would see her. But there's
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. But at the same time, when you ride this ride, people are coming off saying, "I have no idea what the point was. It was a nice ride through a forest."
Because I'll be honest, like the images that I've seen online, it looks really cool.
It does look cool, but at the same time, that's all it is. It's like, in my opinion, the movie.
I like the movie. I'll defend the movie. I think it was an idea. It was like, I mean, if there was natural resources, I mean, let's face it. The story is natural resources we need or want or use or, I don't know, whatever you want to say to get these, is on another planet. We have an indigenous tribe that is backwards, that we will see it that way. They don't have the technology we have. We're going to take it from them. That is humans.
Yeah.
That's what humans do.
I can tell you this, and we're getting hung up on debating about whether this is a good
I don't
movie
want to stay on this because I have so many jokes about Volcano Bay.
But I can tell you this, that when I did watch the movie, and I have seen it all the way through, I said I know I fell asleep when I first time I watched it, but we had rented it. I watched the whole thing. We got it from the Red Box. There wasn't a character I liked in that movie.
You don't like Sigourney Weaver?
No.
I like Sigourney Weaver.
I like her as a person.
As a person, and in other movies, yes. In this movie, no. That's my point. We're talking about this movie. Yes, she was.
Really?
Yes.
I think it was just regular Sigourney Weaver in there.
Okay, so you're saying she's not an actress who has depth.
But you're saying there's no story. You don't remember anything. So how can you tell me she had any depth? That's like saying I dug a hole, but you don't see the dirt. You're killing me here.
No.
You're changing my premise.
Literally, their biggest thing in the Avatar movie was called unobtainium. Are you kidding me?
Seriously.
Unobtainium.
Space magicians.
Space magicians?
That's their other part. Oh, sorry, Star Wars. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You're going to tell me Star Wars has no story. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Star Wars has no story.
You're just unattainable. It's a stupid name, but I mean...
Do they say space magicians in Star Wars?
It's like any other sci-fi thing.
Not.
They just throw stuff out there.
No, it's not. Unobtainium is a garbage name. That's like we couldn't come up with something, and we're like, this is something we can't have.
But if it was latranium, you'd be like, stupid latranium.
No, that sounds different at least. At least it's not... unobtainable is a word. It's an English word.
Yeah, most things are.
That's why you don't use them for names of materials and raw, like...
Unobtainium sounds like, all right, guys, we're hitting lunch in 10 minutes, but we really need to figure out what we're going to call this. Any ideas? Unobtainium. All right, we're going to, we'll put that on the board.
Writers.
Anybody else?
That's how it works.
Nothing. All right, let's go to lunch. Unobtainium. Are you kidding me?
What would you call it?
I'm not a writer coming up with a unique story. I'm not paid to do this.
Evidently,
but I'm an objective observer of
It sounds like you clearly don't like the Avatar situation.
I'm saying that movie, after I was done, I was like, clearly it was a movie made for theaters because watching it at home, I do not get the same experience.
There are a lot of movies like that. I will say that. There is a lot of things I cannot watch at home.
And people don't pay billions of dollars to put it in a theme park.
Disney did.
That's what I'm saying. Oh my God. Thank you for coming full circle. Okay. So anyway, the other ride, the Flight of Passage, the Banshee.
This is going
They spent, obviously, the issue was they spent so much money on what they did in the environment and the Navi River journey. It's a simulator ride. It's screens. It's apparently, people are saying, somewhat similar to Soarin'. And, oh, by the way, it's not easy to get in and out of. And even people who are not overweight, are totally like normally shaped people, the restraint systems will not close on them and they cannot ride. So
no, not one of those rides.
Seriously. And then they have to get off. Oh, and by the way, apparently, even though the main character in Avatar is a paraplegic, Disney didn't really make either one of these rides handicap accessible. Yeah. So there you go. So.
Oh my God.
All of this leads me to the poll that we put out, which was, if you had one day in Orlando this summer, would you visit Volcano Bay or would you visit the world of Avatar? 57 votes, 67% of those 57 people said they would go Volcano Bay, 33% said Pandora.
Can I change my vote to Volcano Bay? And this is coming from a guy that has really bad ears that can't do water rides. Holy crap.
Well,
wow.
It's just, it's one of those things where when I heard that this was happening, and this was the expansion we were getting in Animal Kingdom, it made me feel like, okay, cool, maybe this is something that's going to make it more than a half-day park and something that you want to go to, and now it's open at night, so you can experience the bioluminescence. Early reviews, it just sounds to me like, a lot like Animal Kingdom. You walk through, you experience it, you see it, but you may not really feel the need to go back and do it again. and that
Jesus.
sucks. That really sucks. Of course I'm going to go. Of course I want to check it out. I probably won't be going back to Disney until Star Wars Land opens. But
That's
maybe
Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, but maybe that'll be good because there won't be big crowds over at Avatar Land, and I can do whatever I need to there and not really have to wait for it. I did hear that the queue for Flight of Passage is really, really long. It's all indoor, but it's so long that if it was full, the wait would be 5 to 6 hours.
Jesus Christ. What?
Yeah.
It's be a long flight.
It's a long layover in
5
Chicago.
to 6 hours. Oh my God.
Sound like there's a weight limit.
Yeah.
Well, and then speaking on the weight limit, what if you stand in that crazy long queue? Obviously, it's not going to be 5 to 6 hours. What if you stand in that line for 2 hours and you get in there and, like Jay said, you're not a fat kid like me, and it's like you're an actual decent in shape person, and you get in there. Yeah, sorry, homeboy, you can't ride this. You just wasted 2 hours.
Exactly. Apparently, there are these restraints that come up on your calves, and if you're a person that has muscly, meaty calves, it won't close.
AKA somebody that does the leg day.
Yeah, it won't click. And then they're like, sorry, you have to
There's
leave.
not too many of those.
What the
There's not too many leg days I've seen.
So, I don't know. I'm scratching my head about the whole thing. I don't... Yeah.
I mean, I got to say, I was very skeptical coming into it, and early reviews are not making me feel any better about it. I mean, obviously it looks really cool, but at the same time, like you said, it really feels like one of those parks that you can kind of just take in, but you don't actually interact, and you have zero reason to go back unless you just want to ride Expedition Everest. Which is awesome.
Yeah, that's the good news. Maybe there'll be no line for Expedition Everest because
oh my God, that's it. Yeah.
Benefit, upside.
Yep, there we go.
And Kilimanjaro safaris, right?
Yeah, the Kilimanjaro safari is legit.
So anyway, thanks everybody who voted. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that's super cool. And I'm with the majority on this one. I did vote, and it was after I had read and watched videos and heard what people were saying coming out of both, and I voted Volcano Bay. All full disclosure, I enjoy water parks, but I have never been to Typhoon Lagoon or Blizzard Beach at Disney World, surprisingly, actually. If I were doing Universal, I would do a day at Volcano Bay, for sure.
Really?
I would do it, yeah.
Okay, all right. Because, I mean, it really feels like Universal is kind of lacking that, multi-day experience. Yeah, you can go to Universal, you can go to Islands of Adventure, but as somebody who has done it multiple times, you can really do both in one day.
Yeah, I guess if you could, especially if you had the VIP access or something, that would help.
Well, I mean, I didn't even necessarily have the VIP access. I just got up early. I was there when the park opened, and I was able to do pretty much everything I wanted in both parks. So,
yeah. Well, maybe this is another option.
Game changer for Universal.
People, exactly. Keep people a little bit longer. So there you go. From a Disney guy, I think Universal wins this round. Because I will tell you, I mean, this was being touted. The World of Avatar was being touted as the Hogwarts, basically the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It was an answer to that, and I'm not seeing it. So,
because as somebody who has been to the Wizarding World stuff, that is amazing, and I'm not even necessarily a Harry Potter fan. Yeah. Just the immersion of it, and the rides themselves are so good.
But you know why? They tie it back to the characters that you know.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they do.
The
Absolutely.
Story that you enjoy in Harry Potter. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot.
And it sounds like with Avatar, it's like, hey, we're going to see Shami McGee over here, who might end up being in the movie? ? Maybe. Yeah. So you don't have something to tie it into. And going back to your earlier argument, faceless dude who was the star. I mean, does anybody care about that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm being a little bit harsh, but it's just. And I would probably feel differently about it too had I seen that movie in the theater, because then I think I would watch it and it would be a different experience watching it afterwards. But seeing it outside, I don't know. It just didn't. I guess I didn't see what all the craziness was about.
Well, it was definitely a movie that was made for the theater experience, and I mean, good on James Cameron. He had this idea for a movie and what he wanted to do, his vision, for a long time. I appreciate the fact that he held on until technology caught up to his vision.
Yeah,
and I appreciate, as a moviegoer, I mean, in a dying age of you have to go see this in theaters because technology can bring you the theater experience in your home. Avatar was one of those movies I feel like you had to experience to get it in theaters. So, I mean, it really feels like we've been bagging on Avatar. I mean, story-wise, there's nothing there, but technologically and like graphically, it's amazing. I don't know if it warrants a, theme park expansion like Disney has given us.
Right. So. But we have it now. So go see the floating
We
islands.
have it, so yeah, go form your own opinion.
Go see the floating islands. So
I do want to see the floating islands. I'm not going to lie. Those look awesome.
It does look cool. I'll say it. It would be cool to see. Anyway, all right.
I want to go on the floating islands. No.
I don't think you can go on the floating islands.
Yeah, I know you can. I know.
All right. We wanted to talk a little bit about The Gifted. And Matt, I'm going to throw this over to you. I know you wanted to talk a little bit about this. We got a trailer for it. It's the TV series coming to Fox.
Fox, yeah.
Yep.
You have
like straight up Fox, not FX or
no,
FXX?
No. It says they're releasing it on Fox. It's 2017, 2018 release. So I'm guessing fall, and they're going to bleed into, late winter.
All right, good deal.
And looking at it, it's just to give you if you haven't seen the trailer, it's pretty good. It's a superhero trailer. It's not going to be Netflix. I'm going to tell you right now. It's not going to be what they're offering. I mean, the trailer looks good, but trailers always look good.
They do.
And Fox, man, they kind of upset me with some shows they let go of and don't let go of. But hopefully they'll hang on to this one. It's connected.
We still miss you, Firefly. We still miss you.
It's connected to the X-Men film series. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of like, I'm guessing, a shoot off of it. They're not giving us too much on it. That's just what they say about it. 20th Century Fox is running it. In the trailer, you get a little bit understanding of how they're doing their powers. It kind of looks like, the mutants, which they control that word. Mutants are being hunted or being looked for. It looks like several different characters. Some of the characters they've got in there, and I'm just going to give you some of their, superhero names, which you've got Eclipse, Blink, which was in Days of Future Past, evidently, but they changed the actor. So there's not going to be, I guess, Blink just changes who they are. I don't know how that works. Polaris, Thunderbird, and I think that's all they're giving us for right now, but those are just some of the characters that'll be in there.
As a comic fan, the fact that they're throwing Polaris out there at this point is exciting because in the comic at least, or at least it was in the comic, I don't know if it's been retconned like his other children, but Polaris is the daughter of Magneto. So that is exciting.
And it does say controls magnetism, and that's what I was thinking. There was a connection there.
Well,
so
there we go.
They're trying to get you connected to the movies the last movie that didn't do so well. They're doing another movie. Of course, they're doing the Dark Phoenix saga.
Mm-hmm.
To quote Metallica, the franchise marches on. Or wait, no, Metallica didn't say that.
They did not say that. They just did say that with albums, though, and they didn't do so well either.
Whoa.
Hey, there are some stinkers. Don't deny it. So
he celebrates their entire catalog.
Exactly. God.
So you've got the whole thing with them trying to connect it to their movies. It like I said, it just looks like a very. If you like what First Class has brought you and Days of Future Past and all that, this is the connection to it. And it looks like they're pushing that more because, of course, Hugh Jackman's gone. Most of your older characters are going to roll out. Xavier, Patrick Stewart is not going to do Xavier anymore. So, they're rolling out and they're going to hang on to their new people. So, I guess this is your TV connection, kind of like, I guess Netflix is connected to Marvel. The MCU.
Well, I mean, they're
say
connected
they are.
That way. ABC has Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's a show I haven't been able to get into. But it does have tie-ins to the movie. And it's like, it looks like The Gifted is executive produced by Bryan Singer, who has done quote-unquote, the good X-Men movies. So I'm okay. Like, I'm excited.
Kind of on the fence about Apocalypse. I'm not really on the fence. I don't like it. But there are...
It had its moments.
It had good pieces.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel like a whole. It was for me. So
I get that. I'll say this: I don't own it on DVD. So
I don't either. I have Days of Future Past, but I don't have that one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat with you. Yep.
Sorry, UA's getting involved over here. If you're hearing some barking, this is.
Yeah, apparently UA is really pro Age of Apocalypse.
She's very passionate about her love of Apocalypse. Yes,
I really liked it when they showed Angel and they played Metallica's Four Horsemen because that was just so on the nose. It's like, oh my god, seriously.
So anyway. Apologies if you hear the barking bog. The barking dog.
Darking Bog.
The darkness.
That's your new radio name, Darking Bog.
Mm-hmm. The Darking Bog.
Sorry about that. Anyway, I did watch the trailer for The Gifted, and it looks like, I don't know, it looks like it's going to be...
It looks fun.
Gritty.
Right. And I mean, they did do Legion, and I cannot tout Legion anymore. Legion is so bonkers crazy, but it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping those same people, I know it's not the same director and everything, but I'm hoping those people are involved in this.
But you also have to realize Legion was on FXX.
I know.
Which is a cable network, which like super cable at this point. But it gives them a little more leeway than they can get away with on the Fox network. So that right there would be my one thing. Like, hold the phone, buddy.
And Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is not. I don't like it.
Like I've tried to give that show so many shots. I think I've watched it or tried to watch it 3 times. I'm like, no, this is not my jams. Yeah. To use our technical term.
Your hashtag jams.
Oh, my hashtag jams. Yeah, even with Ghost Rider, I was like, oh, okay, maybe I can get into it with Ghost Rider. And then he came out in the car, and I was like, done.
Yeah, it's like that is not Ghost Rider, and it's like
Ghost Rider.
Excuse me, they're trying to, they're injecting the Inhumans in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and they're trying to tell you, Inhumans are going to be really important in the upcoming phase of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like, okay, it might be, but one, I don't care about the Inhumans, and two, if it's important, you'll tell me in a movie, so shut up.
And I think the screen caps or the pictures we've seen of Inhumans did not look that spectacular on costuming. Right. Hopefully it was like before they put the glitz of movie on it, it's kind of like, this is what we look like in real life.
This is the before picture. We're ready to see the after.
6 simple months of
sometime
filming.
After P90X, please.
Mutant 90X.
Yeah.
God.
What?
I'll give it to you. That
P90 X-Men.
Oh, nice.
I like
that was a better one. I like his better.
Okay.
But yeah,
none of us agree. Anyway, go ahead.
Hopefully it's good. I want it to be. I want it to be good because, like I said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is kind of a disappointment for me. It doesn't lead in great to the MCU, and I'm hoping something needs to revive my faith in the X-Men right now because, like I said, Apocalypse did not do it for me.
Yeah.
So, and I was happy.
They are continuing down that path, and like it. I'm with you. It's like, can somebody please do something good with the X-Men? It's like, I do like what they're doing comic-wise with Blue and Gold, but it's like, can Sony and Marvel come together and just be like, hey, Sony, do you like money? Yes, Marvel, I like money too. So, like, just work together and make money.
Seems simple.
It blows my mind.
Except they're each like, but we want all the money. We want all of that. That stack right there.
This whole custody battle of Spider-Man kind of gives them hope, and it's like we can make money like they make money, and then they're like, what can you do with Fantastic Four? And Marvel's like, well, let me show you, and then they revive and fix that. And
another I don't know if I can take another Fantastic Four revival.
The only Fantastic Four movie I will ever see is when it goes back to Marvel because they will know what to do. Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And we don't have to have a movie. Let's just put them in the Infinity Wars.
Just bring them in.
Yeah, just bring them in.
Yeah, they could use them in spots.
And you know what? With the frickin' what is it? The Reality Stone. You can alter reality. Yeah, sure. We're going to drop the Fantastic Four, and I'm kind of holding out that Hugh Jackman's going to make an appearance in Infinity Wars because of that.
Maybe that'd be good.
You mean like he did in Apocalypse? He's like, whoa. Oh, no.
No, he just said one curse word.
Oh, he did say one curse word. You're right.
F off. No.
That's what he said.
Yep. Sorry, edit.
Yep, that's going to be an edit.
Not for small ears. Yeah, so that's all I've got on Gifted. Okay. I mean, hopefully it'll be good. I'm hoping it'll be Legion quality for me. If you guys like, I'd love to hear what anybody has to say about Legion. So if you guys want to tweet us about what you think about Legion and all the bonker theories you think it is.
Seriously, that was such a messed up show, but it was good.
And Jermaine Clement in it. And if you don't know who that is, I don't know you. Because Jermaine Clement is awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Agreed. So check out the trailer. Tell us what you think about The Gifted and tell us what you think about Legion. We'd love to hear about that at nerd_news_cafe. Moving onward and upward. We wanted to talk a little bit. I know, Landon, you were a little fired up about what you were hearing from more than 12, lots of angry men Oh, you know what? Matt's cracking open a beer. Hold on a second.
I was getting ready for Landon.
I did it again.
Yeah, exactly.
I did it again.
Open
I forgot
because here we go.
Yeah, I did it again. I forgot to mention drinks. Well, let's do it really quick. So I had an Arby's unsweet tea because apparently I was thinking Arby's on the way home.
That sounds awful.
Matt just cracked open
Sorbet. Modelo Especial in the can.
Yep.
See.
What are you drinking, Landon?
This podcaster is brought to you by Dewar's White Label. Dewar's, when your heart says Johnny Walker, but your wallet says otherwise.
There you go.
Nice.
All right.
I'm surprised you haven't got a Duff beer by now.
I've actually had Duff beer. Went down to going back to Universal.
Why does this not
At their
surprise
Islands
me?
of Adventure, they have a Moe's Tavern, and I had a Duff in Moe's. It tastes a lot like a Fat Tire, so I'm okay
There you
with
go.
it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
Fat
cool.
Tire's good stuff. Okay.
Yeah, 'cause-
So now Matt's got his beer. I drained my drink, and I'm fired up, and I'm ready. I'm ready to hear Landon.
I'm ready.
Wax poetic. Tell us how you're feeling about people's reaction to the Alamo Drafthouse and the screening, all women screening of Wonder Woman.
Okay, everybody strap in, and I might alienate some of our listeners with this, but if you're one of the ding-dongs, aka men, that have a problem with a female-only
femur?
viewing of Wonder Woman at the Alamo Drafthouse, first of all, I'll set it up. Alamo Drafthouse is a chain of theaters, and some of these movie theaters have decided on June 2nd, when Wonder Woman drops, they're going to have all-female screenings. So, of course, because ding-dongs online have to be pissed off about something, these men rights activist jackasses have decided to make it their, campaign that it's sexist and it's unequal rights, that women can only go see this screening of Wonder Woman. Well, here's the thing. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if you're one of these people that subscribes to that train of thought, go ahead and continue to subscribe to us on iTunes, but please don't listen to this podcast. Then I want you to go out into your garage, pick up a hammer, then
Here
pick up a
comes the
single
edit.
nail, pull your pants down, hold your scrotum, and nail it to the wall because you're a piece of shit. How about that?
I have a question. Did you say male activist?
Have you been on the internet?
I thought that was like- I thought that
male
was-
rights activists
I thought
are a
that was
thing.
like
These are the same.
unicorns.
No. These are the same ding dongs that wanted to boycott Star Wars: The Force Awakens because Rey was a female was the lead character. These are those pieces of.
So when their membership hits 3, do you think that they'll get like, I don't know, a banner or something and have a march and all that
They
fun
might
stuff?
get a participation trophy. I mean, like,
Oh, these
I
are
don't-
definitely participation trophy winners, I promise you.
I mean, like, it just blows my mind. It's like, that is what, like, okay, first of all, can we talk about how Wonder Woman looks awesome?
Yeah, it does.
I was the
Like-
biggest
like,
doubter
yeah.
of that whole thing. When she got cast and seeing her how, lean she was in, was it Fast and Furious 6? I was like, this woman's going to be Wonder Woman? No, this is going to be awful. And slowly but surely, as she changed, so did my mind. I was like, they bulked her up. She,
Yep.
They made the costume look good. I mean, they've done a great job turning her into Wonder Woman.
Oh, absolutely. And it's like, I'll be honest, this is the most excited I've been about a DC movie in a long time. But can I ask you a question? When was the last time y'all saw a Wonder Woman trailer that wasn't on a can of Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, you don't see them. They're not out there. It's very bizarre. It feels like they're not trying to put money into this at all, and it's almost like one of those things
Which is
where
stupid.
Yeah, like remember when I was talking about Rogue One and I said, they didn't have to show us Darth Vader. People would have gone to see the movie. They didn't really need to put a lot of trailers out. People were going to go see Rogue
were gonna
One
see
anyway.
that.
This DC, I don't know how they're not putting all their chips on this because
Seriously.
they need a win. And there's still, by the way,
Do you want the
Justice
League,
League-
Justice League to do good?
Justice League.
You might want to put some money into this one.
It still looks like a dumpster fire. They're doing reshoots. Didn't
Well, and speaking on Justice
Now-
League, I mean, I feel like we have to talk on it. Unfortunately,
I-
Zack Snyder is
feel
bowing
he
out
had to
due to
step
the
away.
death,
That
death
is
in the family.
awful.
And Joss Whedon is stepping in to finish
Yeah.
it. So the guy that did the Avengers or directed the Avengers is now directing or finishing directing
Are they
Justice
buddies?
League.
Are they friends? I mean, do you know why he stepped in to do it?
I would imagine, like, well, obviously Joss is attached to the Batwoman movie in the DC universe, and plus it's like Joss. I mean, it's like, say what you will about Avengers 2, he's still one of the most accomplished sci-fi writers of our lifetime.
Yeah,
he did Firefly for sakes.
But here's the thing: when the man at the helm changes, especially on a project that's 75% done.
Are we sure about that?
Yep.
Well,
I mean, it is 3 hours. They've got that last hour to film.
Yeah, I guess. But I'm just thinking it's already going to have the Zack Snyder touch throughout, and then Jaws is really coming in to finish it up. Mm-hmm. Put a bow on it and get it out. That's really what his job is,
right? And then where we're at on films right now.
And what you tend to see a lot of times when you got a lot of different directors is an incoherent mess. I'm just telling you, like there you can pull the examples out there that you end up. It's not a death knell, but it's a warning sign that something could go wrong here. And as much as I love Jaws, as much as I want this to work, although I don't need it to be 3.5 hours.
Jesus, please don't let it be 3.5 hours.
Actually,
Joss, if you're listening, cut it back. Yeah.
The best thing he could do is come in like with a freaking knife of justice and cut this thing down to like 2 hours and be like, you know what? Yeah, the knife of justice.
Jesus, oh God.
Oh, they should just change it to Justice League.
Oh, Justice League.
God.
Yeah. And then put it out there. But I guess what I'm saying is with all that going on, knowing we've got this smoke, where there's smoke, there's a fire, and it's in a dumpster. Justice League sitting over here, plus everything that's been going on with the Batman movie and all the changes that they've gone through, and all the debate of, well, is Ben Affleck really going to do the Batman? And yes, he is. No, he's not. Yes, he is. You need a win, DC. You need a win. Put your eggs in this basket.
Yeah, seriously. When you lay it out like that, the DC movie universe has been in constant turmoil.
Yeah.
And they haven't gotten a win, period. Where you look on the flip side, it seems like it's all sunshine and lollipops and rainbows with Marvel. I mean, they can't do wrong. Even when they run somebody like Edgar Wright off of Ant-Man, they can't do wrong.
Right. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, it's something else. The success that Marvel has compared to DC, like struggling, biting, clawing for everything they've got. And I mean, I will say this: I like Man of Steel. I'm fine with it. I like the world they built for Superman. I like everything that they've done. There are some things about it I'm like, okay, sure, Kevin Costner. But BVS I have to like. So, Justice League I'm gonna put my support behind and hope that it doesn't look the way it's being, shown to us as like all kinds of craziness. And it's just like they're holding back trailers. They're keeping it, away to build anticipation. But the whole thing with Wonder Woman not having the backing, the marketing, even small runs on the radio, anything, nothing. I mean, it's Ghost Town, USA with this freaking movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I mean, maybe it's just me. You know where that is, Maggie Valley. But. They just don't. They're not putting any money into this, and I mean, it's one of your main freaking characters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
She's part of the holy trinity for DC Comics.
And the thing is, if this thing hits like it looks like it could, because everything that I've seen when I go digging for it looks amazing.
Yeah, because you have to go digging for it. Thanks, DC.
I mean, BVS, she looked amazing. I mean,
she was the best part of that movie.
She really was.
Yeah, it was really good.
I really liked the Batfleck, but Wonder Woman stole that movie.
Oh yeah, and I did not. Like I said, I was a very naysayer. I was like, stupid. They're not going to do a good job with her because I was a Linda Carter fan. Don't get me wrong. Wonder Woman. She spun around. I mean, you can't beat Linda Carter, but obviously you can. Obviously, you can get close. I mean.
I'll tell you this. I
think it's. I don't know what they're doing.
I look at Wonder Woman the way I did going into Captain America. For me, Captain America was one of those things that I felt like was always really cheesy, and I was like,
I was the same way.
Am I going to like this going into the movie? Like, is this something I'm really excited to see? And then I go see the movie, and I've heard people kind of debate, and the first one's not quite as good as maybe Winter Soldier. I think the first one's great. Captain America: The First Avenger was such. I loved it.
I think it was a fun movie.
I think it's the time period people don't like. I think it's that 1940s.
Well,
Boy Scout. Everybody's nice and congenial.
Yeah,
I'm
But
sure
see,
that was not
that's
the
what
40s.
I liked about.
No,
the
I
first
really
Avenger.
enjoyed it. Yeah, and
It was a war movie that just happened to have a superhero.
It's World War II. You know, we're not doing very well. When you put this guy out there, and he's a propaganda king, you know, and he's like, hey, would you want to fight?
and now Captain America is freaking everywhere.
Winter Soldier was amazing.
Yep.
Winter Soldier was
again,
amazing.
going back,
War.
Winter Soldier was a political.
Civil War. Don't even get me started. But
So and DC could do the same kind of thing, build that same kind of momentum with Wonder Woman. Get with the program, DC. Here's what I think we see. It's a lack of leadership and vision in the DC movies universe right now. That's what's happening.
true. There's nobody there to hold them together.
Well, and honestly, it really feels like they're so reactionary to whatever Marvel does. Because, I mean, we heard that Suicide Squad went back and did reshoots. We talked about how Justice League is going back and doing reshoots. And it's because of what Marvel does. And it's like, okay, DC, you work on you, let Marvel work on Marvel.
You do you, boo-boo.
Exactly.
You don't think Marvel competes with Star Wars right now? You don't think that's happening?
No, they don't, because Marvel prints all the money in the world, and guess what?
True, but
both
I mean,
those
like,
properties are owned by Disney.
They have the same overlord.
No, that is true, you know, but I'm sure they do reshoots. It's like, you wrote what into that movie? God almighty. Okay, guys, get it back together.
You know, but the thing is, Marvel, especially with all their different properties, each one of their movies, this was actually, I'm going to give a shout out to Richard at Nerdvana Comics Knoxville. Because
Shout out to Richard.
He pointed this out to me, and it's a really good point. All the different franchises you have in the Marvel Universe, they get to do different things. So Guardians, you got a sci-fi movie.
Yes.
You know, Captain America, you get war movies, secret agent movies. Iron Man are your traditional superhero type movies. They get to try, and Thor is fantasy.
True.
Right? So and
they
doing
put little category tabs on them.
They're doing all these different genres, but they're still superheroes. They're all tied together, and then they bring them together and make it work. DC, if you look at what they're doing, they're trying to capture the same tone.
True. The grittiness, the dark.
And
no, I will say it felt like they were trying to do something different with Suicide Squad, and I would be super interested to see the director's cut before they went back to do reshoots, before the studio decided to interject themselves in the movie-making process. But DC, they're doing the same damn movie over and over again with different people.
Have you seen? There's a clip that I've seen a couple times, and it's the Joker. He's driving his car, that crazy looking Lamborghini, you know, rave factory, and then beside him, you see on a freaking crotch rocket. Here comes Harley Quinn, which is not in garb. She's just looks like the psychiatrist. Like, you need to listen to me. You need to stop. You know, and this whole clip of how she's like, "You're not going to leave me. You're not going to do this." And he goes, "Baby, that's not who I am."
Yeah.
You know, and he's just all kinds of nonchalant, crazy. And then I won't tell you how the clip ends, but you need to watch it. That was some of the stuff that would give you context of why she is the way she is.
Interesting.
Why is she so dedicated to him? Why? Because the backstory they gave us in that movie was
just wasn't enough.
We got more of Killer Croc than we got about her.
Seriously, like the backstory of Harley, we got a few flashback scenes, and then we got a bullet point PowerPoint presentation. It's like, seriously?
I'll be honest. As a guy who just recently argued that Guardians Volume 2 was better than 1, I'm not a fan of backstory because I feel like we get way too much of that all the time. So I don't mind it being trimmed down, but at the same time, if you're
how much is too trim?
How much is too trim? And if you're going to do it right. I guess is the point. But
there was a lot of stuff that didn't make any sense. Like that scene, if you watch it, makes sense of why they went to the vat. Mm-hmm. You know, why did they get there? How did they get there?
Yeah, seriously, why the hell were they there?
What are you doing? You know,
it's like of all the scenes you shot, this is the one that you decided to keep.
Yeah, you know,
it's like okay, it might explain Harlequin Quinn's transformation into Harley Quinn, but at the same time, without context, this is completely random and kind of feels like garbage.
Yeah, how do you take a 40-foot dive into a tank and then stand up in it? That doesn't happen. So, just one of the things I noticed. But
you know what? After we're talking about it, I don't know if that movie was so good.
I like Suicide Squad. I like I'll say this.
It was fine enough.
I like your attempt.
Yeah,
I like what you tried to do. I like what you tried to sell me. There were things that I didn't care about, but there were a lot of things I did.
Yep.
So.
All right. So we've made our plea with DC. Come on, back this movie.
Do your job.
Seriously, it's Wonder Woman.
You had one job. You have one job right now.
Seriously. You do have one job.
But Landon, you wanted to talk about the Memorial Day weekend and how the box office was doing, so let's get to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, staying in the movie realm, in the past, the Memorial Day weekend has kind of been the unofficial start of the summer movie season, and it used to be a big movie weekend, but with the exception of the #1 movie in America right now, which I actually happened to see this weekend, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales. Indeed. Yes, you do speak with a Southern accent. Everybody else has kind of dropped off. Pirates opened at $62.1 million. Guardians Volume 2 staying strong at 19.8. Baywatch debuts at number 3, $18.1 million. So I think we're looking at the second bomb of the summer following King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. And I mentioned last week I was curious to see what the drop-off from Alien Covenant was going to be. It debuted at number 1 last week. It brought in $10.5 million.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. That's crazy.
Well,
it had a 71% drop-off from its opening week debut. And like I said, I was curious to see that drop off, but it's like Val said on the Facebook, it's like if you like Prometheus, you're going to like it. But it's kind of surprising because there are quote unquote big blockbuster movies out there right now. And the summer was generally when people wanted to go see these movies, but with the exception of Pirates, I mean, there's a mass and yes, it's all relative. For us, it's like, oh, it only made $10.5 million. We would love that, but
that's
we're
bottom of the barrel in movies right now.
Exactly. Yeah, we're not billion-dollar corporations, and it's like, especially Baywatch. It's like that is a bomb right there. The fact that it opened at 18.1.
Yeah, and it's by the way, speaking of 18, it's like an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. But I'm here to tell you.
There we go.
Listen, I'm here to tell you. I am hitting the beach. I'm going to be seeing that movie. There is too much eye candy. You want to talk about movies made just for visuals? That's what Baywatch is, baby.
Avatar, but
I'm going.
He is front and center.
I'm going to watch The Rock run up and down that beach for a couple hours.
Magnificent beast.
That magnificent man. I'm going to watch these new ladies that I've never heard of, but they all look nice.
Just glistening in the sun for you.
The new CJ, I'm fine with her. Who cares? We don't need Pam Anderson anymore.
You take that back. We always need Pam Anderson. But it's like, I really liked the 21 Jump Street reboot, and it's like, it really felt like they were going to go in that, vein.
Oh, that's what they were trying to do.
Oh, absolutely. And
yeah.
But I just don't feel like I got that vibe from the trailers they put out before it came out.
Yeah,
so
I would agree. Well,
it's like
Chips
TV
too.
show. It was a hokey TV show.
Oh, Chips, yeah.
Well, Chips was kind of like they were trying to be. It was a serious. I don't know. Was it serious?
The movie they tried to go really dirty.
Oh no, they messed. They went crazy with it. They went over the wall. They're down the street. No, I'm talking about like the TV series.
TV show.
Would you say it was like a cop drama?
It was a little bit funny.
I felt like it was G.I. Joe drama, if that's even a thing. But and then 21 Jump Street was trying to be a drama. It was about the kids and stuff. Stuff that happens in the streets. Imagine 21 Jump Street. And those were easy to transition. I think to comedies. But Baywatch was so hokey, man. I mean,
it was already hokey. You say, and it's like,
starred
but at the same time, like lean into the camp at that point.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
True.
So I don't know. I'm going to see it, guys. I'll give you a full report.
Oh,
but
it definitely feels like a movie I want to see when HBO has it. I'm not going to go drop the $17.50 I have to see for a non-matinee movie.
But you did go see Pirates. Tell us how you felt about Pirates.
You know what? I really enjoyed the Pirates movie. It was getting bagged online. I mean, review-wise, like people were saying it was not a good movie. But it's like, if you're a fan of the Pirates franchise, you're going to like this. Like, honestly, it's like, I will say, I'm not going to give spoilers, but it really felt like this could have been the perfect wrap-up of the Pirates franchise. It really felt like a love letter to the fans. If you enjoyed Pirates 1 and Pirates 2, like, 3 and 4 for me at least are kind of iffy, but like if you enjoyed the old school pirate stuff, I really feel like you're going to enjoy this movie. It's peak Jack Sparrow. Barbossa kills it. I love Javier Vasquez is in the role of Salazar. Great villain. It introduces some new characters, which it really feels like they're going to continue on in this storyline.
Yeah. What I heard about Pirates is this franchise is going to keep going as long as they feel like they've got the stories to tell. So they probably are purposely introducing more people to like carry it on, carry the mantle.
I got a question for the park guys here. Have they ever updated Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney?
They've made tweaks.
Constantly.
Yeah.
Have they updated it to the movies?
Yes, they've added
Constantly.
Johnny Depp into the ride, and
Have they?
actually,
I remember seeing a thing about him being there.
sure that Barbossa is supposed to be like one of the pirate captains. That's
Okay.
like on the, and then like they do things where they used to do when you went through the little fog wall. You saw Davy Jones; he would come up and say
Yep,
something
I
to
saw
you with
that.
his squid voice, and they put mermaids swimming through the water with like projection. Can I say projection, please? Can a brother get a projection? Can a brother get a projection, please?
Hallelujah.
But I wanted to say they have made some updates. The tomato meter for Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Men Tell No Tales 32%. The audience score, and I don't know if I've seen such a big difference. The audience score is 76.
Wow,
That
that is
really-
vastly different.
It sounds like the
Well, it's
critics
like-
are done with it, and everybody else is still enjoying it.
Well,
I mean, going back to what I said,
Yeah.
I saw reviews that were just burying it going in to see it, but it's like, again, if you like the pirate movies, you're gonna have a good time. This is a love letter to the pirate fans, and I felt like the story could have completely perfectly wrapped up the franchise, but I will tell you, there is a post-credit stinger,
Ooh.
and that post-credit stinger,
Marvel
since it is a
influence.
Disney property and it's borrowing from its Marvel brethren, sets up for a sequel or a
Okay.
continuation of
Yeah.
the story. I guess you can't call it a sequel if
A
it's the
sevenquel.
sixth episode or
Yeah.
seventh episode or some shit.
Justin
But yeah,
has a
it's like,
retraction.
I enjoyed the movie. Like, I went in with low expectations. I will say that because, like I said, I saw stuff just burying it online, but like I enjoyed it.
okay.
Yeah,
all right.
there's a retraction here.
Let me just say, a minute ago I said I thought that was probably the biggest divide between a critic score and audience score. I got to take it back because for Baywatch, the tomato meter is 19%. The audience score is 71. So
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So
critically
that's
not a good movie,
a
but
63% or 62% difference. That's crazy.
so not only were you wrong historically, you were wrong weekly.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Anyway, so but Pirates still outscored
excited.
it from the audience side. I want to see
Yeah.
Pirates.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Like seriously, again, I've said it multiple times. If you enjoyed the first pirate movies, the first couple, you're going to enjoy this. Barbossa, I think, is at his peak.
Oh.
This is the best Barbossa I've seen. I
love
love that
Jeffrey
character.
Rush. Yeah.
Jeffrey Rush just kills it in this
Yeah.
movie. And again, Javier Vasquez as Salazar, just like such a good villain in that world.
Jack
And Johnny
Sparrow.
Depp doing Johnny Depp things. So. By the way, speaking on Johnny Depp, you all probably saw it in the trailer that was on TV. At one point, it cuts back and they show like CG young Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Holy shit, that looked terrible.
Okay.
Like it's so jarringly bad.
Okay.
So just
could
brace yourself when it happens.
They couldn't go
But-
get
but
the same people who did Guardians for Kurt. What are you
apparently
doing?
not. It's only $1 billion franchise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made $62 million in America. Internationally,
Internationally,
it almost made $250 million this week.
Oh yeah.
I knew that would clean up.
But you want to talk about
$250 million.
You want to
Holy
talk
crap.
about movies that dropped off this week? Another one was King Arthur: The Legend of the Sword. It
That's
dropped
disappointing.
55% drop, and it has only made. It's been in the been in theaters. It's been in office. I was going to say
It's been in office.
Let's
It's had
vote
its
it out.
It's had its away message on for like 20 minutes.
So it's been in theaters 17 days. It's only made $34 million, and I guarantee I don't know because I don't have it in front of me, but I guarantee you the budget was way more than that. So that's a movie that's tanking.
You think that's when?
Yeah, I made reference to Baywatch possibly being the second bomb of the season, but the first one was obviously King Arthur. And let me pull this up real quick. All right, and according to Box Office Mojo, this movie King Arthur: Legend of the Sword had a production budget of $175 million.
That's what I thought.
Somebody fell on their sword for sure.
Yeah, so it hasn't been in theaters for a month, so everybody calm down. But it's only made $33 million
Domestically.
Domestically. Now, I will tell you right
Domestic.
now, my Assassin's Creed was saved internationally, and I can almost bet this one will probably make budget, I would imagine.
I'm looking at foreign totals. You might be right. It's made $85.2 million dollars internationally.
Has it hit Has it hit Chinese yet? The Chinese market?
China, yeah, it opened
Okay.
the 12th of May, bringing in
Then
7.
they may not be.
Yeah, its biggest country right now is
Russia.
Russia.
Yep.
Yeah.
They love medieval movies.
So,
And also our government, apparently.
Oh, dear.
All right, comrades.
Wrong.
Dos patentas.
I think we should wrap up for the day. We've waxed poetic on a lot of things and run out of time. So anything, before I get into our plugs, anything we missed that you guys wanted to say a few words on?
Matt, get in there.
I'm trying to think. Oh, it hurts.
He's curling one out over here.
There was,
Good God.
Don't be a dummy and say racist things about Star Trek.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say because
There
I'm
you go.
tired
Yeah.
of seeing those clips.
How about that?
Probably that same group of people that's saying crappy things about the Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So-
Exactly.
It's the
Those
same-
MRA ding-dongs that I told to nail their testicles to a wall. earlier.
Back to the Bridges trolls.
Yeah, get back under there. All right, we're recording this on May 28th. This is that makes it the 19th anniversary of Phil Hartman's tragic death. Phil Hartman was a brilliant comedic mind at everything he did. Still miss him. Simpsons doesn't feel the same without Troy McClure and Lionel Hutz, attorney at law. So, Jay, I have discovered if I make crazy demands while we're recording, I can get away with whatever I request. So I am saying if you do not close with a song from the Simpsons episode of Planet of the Apes, the musical, I am quitting the podcast. I'm quitting the podcast.
Done.
And all that works as long as I don't cut it. Okay.
Exactly.
So no, that sounds good. I think we can make that work. So
Good deal. And you will make a monkey out of me. So
all right.
miss you, Phil Hartman.
While we're letting that roll, I want to say we had like I said, we had a great week of fan interaction. Let's try to keep that going, guys. And you can do it in a lot of different ways. On Twitter, you can find us at nerd_news_cafe. We're hoping to get to 666 followers to see if we all suddenly have to do some kind of a deal with Satan.
The follower of the beast.
That's right. Oh yeah, whoever is that would be awesome if
my
like our
gosh.
666 was like Lucifer.
Lucifer. The show.
That would be cool.
Yeah, if we could
And you would say, "Oh Jesus."
set that up.
Yeah,
That would be 667.
yeah, that's right.
That's his
So
name.
Facebook fan page. We'll put out a question this week. You guys can talk to us about what you're reading, watching, playing, whatever it may be. And that's Nerd News Cafe. Our website's nerdnewscafe.com. And you can email us at nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. And I know on the fan page, we got a review of Secret Empire from Andrew, who was the winner of Secret Empire #1. We're gonna
What up, Andrew?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that on the Thursday show, guys. This is my little tease. Come back Thursday for Stir It Up, because I know you can't get enough of this. I know you can't. I know it. So
In your face.
in your faces. Yeah, that's coming soon. If Landon was here today, we'd be wrapping up our YouTube bios, and man, I'd be dropping a video in your face. So hopefully we'll get that done in the next week or so. So be on the lookout. We'll make sure you know it's coming. I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. I hope you guys have a great week. Come back Thursday. We'll see you then.
In transmission.
Yes, you finally